Well, hello everybody. It's been a pretty long break. After we were very optimistic at the beginning about getting it out pretty frequently, but it's been a while. We're back at college now for the spring semester, and we're going to try to keep it pretty frequent.
We have... who do we have with us today, Benny?
Well, we got me. I'm Ben. I think you remember me.
You got me. I'm Nick.
He's Nick.
He's a dick. And then I am also here. My name is Mikey.
This is the worst. This is the worst
Okay,
intro
we gotta
ever.
keep it going. We gotta go.
But, yeah, alright.
I'm not here much, but I'm finally here again.
I'm Natasha. I'm finally here again.
Yeah. So there's no shortage of topics that we could bring up.
Yes, as we've been gone for
several months.
Maybe like a couple months, yeah.
Couple, I'd say. Probably pretty close to 3.
I bet yeah.
Maybe talk a little bit about the current state of our teams.
Let's start on this side.
Yeah.
How are the old Penguins doing?
We're all. That's what the phones are all out. They're all out looking at stats.
I really have not been paying attention, but I do know that they are starting to play relatively well now. Where
They were
were in
struggling
their,
for a while.
they were in their slump, and now they're playing well again, and they've reached a playoff spot
That's good,
for
especially in the
sure
Metro.
now. So
Especially in the Metro, because that's harder. Metro's a bit better than the bad Atlantic.
Freak you, man.
Just kidding. Tampa's good. It's Tampa, Toronto, and Boston.
I would have to agree the bad Atlantic.
All right, Eric, how are your Islanders doing?
How are you doing, buddy? Is that a bit
Well,
fun?
first off, they're yes, it is.
Oh, nice.
First off, they're in a really tough division. The Metro is like kind of ridiculous. At one point, I think 2 points was separating second and seventh place.
Right now, there's 10 points separating first and eighth.
That's
it.
that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But the Islanders, they've been slumping a little bit. They're kind of in a rough patch. But I guess on the bright side of that, Halak has definitely started to play better because defensive injuries are kind of. Yeah, I know. Defensive injuries are kind of the Islanders' woes right now.
Josh Bailey's exploding this
Josh
year, too.
Bailey was an all-star. There we go. We saw that coming.
Yeah.
And Matt Barzal, whatever you want to say, is having a terrific season, 50 points in 50 games. And he is in...
Oh, really?
Yep.
Fourth
All right, so ready for this? The only other players who have done that, Crosby, Ovechkin, and Evgeny Malkin.
yeah,
Like-
Malkin had a
like
fire
rookie-
streak
like
recently.
rookie year?
Yep. That's the only other players that have done that. So that's
impressive.
pretty cool. Yeah. On to the Lightning now.
Oh,
The fun team.
well, Lightning are still in
Don't
first.
complain about anything.
They did. They have slowed down. They have slowed down though. Are they still ahead of?
They're still ahead of Boston by 5 points.
Yeah, they are, and they are ahead of Vegas by 1.
Yeah.
By 1 point.
First in the league by 1 point.
Yep. Yeah. Nothing else to
You
say.
don't have too much
No,
to complain
They're
about.
nothing to complain about. One thing I am noticing though, looking at their wins and stuff, is that they have a lot less OT losses, which it normally would be bad, but that means a lot of their games aren't super close, which is good.
Really?
Sort of.
Really?
We got some
Sort of.
logic.
But anyway, as far as players go, Kucherov is first in points. He's 2 ahead of Kessel and 3 ahead of McKinnon.
Old man Kessel.
And actually Stamkos is in 5th. Tied for 5th with Malkin. So that's cool. Goals. Unfortunately, Kucherov is not really in the... Oh yeah, never mind. He's 3rd. He's still in the picture. With 27 goals. Assists. I thought Stamkos would be there, but he's actually fallen off a little bit. Stamkos. Whoa. No.
Stats don't
What
lie,
is it?
Mike.
Oh, Stamkos is 8th. Okay. I thought I missed him, and I got to the bottom, and I was like, there's no way Stamkos is under Henrik Sedin right now. Like, no. But yeah, not really much to complain about. Having a good time.
I don't really like to think about the Habs this year.
Doesn't matter. You gotta talk about it.
The one nice thing I will say is the coaching staff seems to have realized that the season's kind of lost because recently they've done a lot of playing some younger guys more to kind of see what they have. Like they've been using Mete a lot more and kind of putting him in some more situations to see what they got out of him. And think they gotta kind of continue that direction as the season continues because it's clear to pretty much everybody the season's lost. The Habs are 9 points out of a wild card and a full 17 points out of a spot in the Atlantic. So it would have to be a wild card, but I don't think that's happening either.
Wow.
It's not great.
That's impressive.
They had a nice win today against Anaheim, 1-5-2. My brother was at that, so he got a nice game to watch. Had a few goals. Had a few goals from defensemen, but yeah, it's just one of those seasons where you got to kind of chalk it up, just throw in the towel. And with the trade deadline coming up, I hope. Well, Bergevin's still making trades, but I hope some good things happen. Get rid of some of our expiring contracts for some picks and kind of refocus for next season, and I'm hoping the draft lottery will go well because the Habs could really use Erasmus Dahlin.
Yeah.
They really could. They really could.
I think the Lightning could do something with him too.
Yeah, shut up, Mike. All right.
Well, let's talk about the Sens here. They are not good. Not good.
Nick has less to be happy about.
I was pretty hype when they went and got Duchesne. He hasn't done much.
He's been coming on a little bit.
They are 7th in the Craplantic.
Oh, that's a new one.
They are 17, 24, and 9. It's pretty poor.
It's not great.
The defense has been quite shaky. I'll give you a quick stat here. So, Carlson had 17 goals, 54 assists, and was plus minus at 10 last year. Right now, he's got 5 goals, 29 assists, and his plus minus is negative 24.
Yeah, I mean, goal wise, he's been out. He was out for a month extra, but plus minus wise, that's not good.
No,
that's really not good.
Granted, they've had issues on their defense. Chris Weidman is out for the whole season.
He's out.
So that's kind of unfortunate for them. Craig has not been doing good.
Can I just say one thing? Craig got a new set of really sick goalie pads, though, and that's pretty much the only thing I've noticed.
From the radio today, Craig sounded like he did pretty good,
though.
except for that last, goal to go to overtime. But
Yeah, well, can't ask for everything.
It's true.
In other news, Bobby Ryan is now out again with another hand injury. He was also just coming on. He was, warming up. His stats are about even for last year, but
It's a little late to warm up.
Not good.
Jeez.
I don't have much to say. It hasn't been good.
Yeah.
Well, going back to the Habs, something kind of crazy today. I saw Niemi is now a 9-2-9 goalie with the Habs, and he stopped 43 of 45 shots today against the Ducks.
Well,
So Niemi going off.
will he replace Carey?
That'd be the story of.
I'm gonna go with no.
Oh my God, that'd be hilarious.
I'm gonna go with no. Probably not. But now I think we should move on.
Hold on. I just want to run a quick stat on
Okay,
Craig.
Sure.
'Cause I know he's been quite bad.
I got a segue too.
Let's
No, I'm
see.
just kidding.
This season he's got 12 wins. He's got
Wow.
Wrong segue.
This isn't good. So Craig had 25 wins and 92 goals against last year.
Wait. 25 wins.
Yes.
It's a lot for a goalie.
25 wins is a lot for a goalie?
Yeah.
Oh.
Most teams only
So
have like.
this year he's got 12 wins, but he's also got 107 goals against right now. 107 goals against. All of last year he had 92.
Yeah,
That's
Oh,
not
boy.
good.
It's not great.
His saves are almost to about where they were last year. It's not going well for the boys. Offense has been shaky. Defense has been shaky.
So now,
Okay.
so now we're gonna move on to the best Carlson in the league and his team, the Vegas Golden Knights. Wild Bill Carlson leading the Golden Knights with 27 goals this season, riding on a pretty high shooting percentage. I don't remember what it is exactly, but I think it's over 20.
Wow.
So, but he looks like he's gonna be hitting 30 goals. But just kind of a crazy story overall. First in the league, or no, 1 point behind first in the league right now, first in the West. They just hit the record for most wins by a first-year expansion team in a season with 34.
Just over halfway through the
And
season.
they still have 30 games left.
Yep.
So it's kind of crazy to think that a team that didn't exist this time last year and was pretty ridiculed when they took their players at the expansion draft is now looking like they could be a cup contender.
Yeah.
It's strange. But any thoughts on the Vegas team?
I don't
They're
understand.
good. I
It's
don't
gotta
get
be
it.
they're the chemistry. They must have just found some kind of chemistry that works.
With all the
Well,
goalie issues they've had too.
yeah.
Every goalie you throw in, they just turn into 90s brodeur.
Because it wasn't. It was probably less than a month ago. Marc-Andre Fleury came back.
Yeah. They've
been playing off backup since then.
Every curveball that's been thrown their way, they've found a way to get around it. But a lot of it, I think, comes from the amount that their scoring is spread out. If you look at their goals, it's 27 from Carlson, 22 from Neal, 20 from Eric Holla, 18 from Jonathan Marchessault, 14 from Riley Smith. That's the top 5 in goals. And then you look, it's a lot of the same guys in the assist department. Although David Perron, 33 assists, 30 assists from Marchessault, 25 assists from Smith, 21 from Colin Miller, and 19 from Eric Holla.
It's just a
So
lot
it's
of
a lot of spread out scoring across all 4 lines. And I don't know, it's been something crazy to follow. My West team is probably still the Predators, but it's kind of hard to not root for the Golden Knights at this point with the story that is behind it.
Oh yeah. If the Bolts lose, if the Bolts don't get in the playoffs,
that'd be pretty hard.
or if they're out before Golden Knights, assuming the Golden Knights get into the playoffs, I'm gonna be rooting for them because that would be another record. That would be cool to see.
That would be kind of insane. Any other thoughts, gentlemen and ladies?
Well, going off of that, how do you feel about Fleury's success with the Golden Knights?
Sure.
Would you want to see him get another cup?
Yeah,
Would you like to see him back in?
I'd love to see him back.
in Pittsburgh. Yeah,
But
Matt
that's
Murray's
not gonna
having-
happen. So
Matt Murray's
I'll
not been
just
having a
I'll
good
just cheer for him on the Knights.
There you go.
It'd be cool to see him because he's probably on his way out soon.
Yeah.
So it'd be cool to see him get one last one with a different team and
Yeah.
just how nuts of a story it would be to have it happen in Vegas. I mean,
Yeah.
But I still will root for Predators over him just because I want my boy PK to win one. But if Predators end up getting out, then
Golden Knights for sure.
Golden Knights for sure. That is one thing when your team is garbage in a season and the playoffs come around. It can be kind of fun because you have no stake in
stress,
anything.
yeah.
So it's like you can
That's
just
true,
sit
yeah.
down and watch a game and be like, entertain me, and just triple overtime. Let's go. I have there's no stakes here. Just let's go. You just flick at me.
Lint.
It was the
Throw a
fuzz
fuzzy at
that
me?
was on your hat earlier.
How dare you throw a fuzzy at my pristine Atlanta Thrashers jersey?
How are they doing this?
While we're on the Predators, let's talk about Mike Fisher coming out of
Coming
retirement.
out of retirement,
That's
which
weird.
is kind of crazy. I mean, he hasn't. There's weird. It's weird. I've been hearing things where he might not play until March. He might be training with him for a while, and I might
That's
not actually
probably
play
a
till
good
March.
idea. It's probably a good idea.
After not playing for the first, it's probably not the worst idea. And I
It's
think there's some way that they can get around there's some cap loophole where if he signs before the deadline but then doesn't play till after something happens where they don't have to pay a certain amount. I don't know. There's some salary cap loophole I think they're trying to avoid there, but I'm not sure on that, so don't quote me. But yeah, Mike Fisher coming back, so you could tell they might kind of be going for the cut push again this year,
Yeah.
which wouldn't shock me.
Yeah.
I mean, they have a good team. So
Yeah, I think you put them up against I think if you put them up against the Golden Knights would lose that series just because
There's
playoff hockey.
Experience.
playoff hockey's
Yeah.
different. Yeah.
And the
Chemistry,
Predators are
experience.
fresh off of a pretty deep run of
Yeah.
experience. I don't know. That's just me.
And Forsberg just came back from injury, right? He was out a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Well, 4 to 6 or something.
Forsberg is always nice to have.
Yeah.
And Kyle Turris, ever since he had headed
Yeah.
there, that was one of their biggest issues last year's playoffs was once Ryan Johansson went down.
Yep.
Who was playing center? Oh, Mike Fisher's your number one center now?
Yeah.
That's not great. Oh, wait, no, he was out early, actually. He was out even earlier than Johansson. He got injured. So it was I think Colton Sissons ended up being
Who did pretty
was
well,
the
honestly.
number one center once the cup final rolled around. And take it from a Habs fan that you need depth in the middle if you want to do anything.
Yeah.
Because I'm still...
You sure?
So what next? You're coming off
Well, we
Oh.
have the Mike Fisher anti-retirement. Why don't we go to the Jagr, the
Actual
final
course.
retirement?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe
You never really know with
after how many seasons?
I don't know actually how many
20.
seasons.
I think his
long-ass
first game
time.
was in '90, so I think he's had 27 seasons.
Yeah,
Well, let's see. I'm
28.
getting up the hockey reference right now.
I believe his first game was in 1990 with the Penguins.
So his first season was 90-91,
Yeah.
and this was 2017-18. So that's 28 years.
27, 28 years.
28, yeah.
Almost 30 seasons. Holy crap.
If we look at the stats here, we got how many goals? We got.
Total.
Why is there not just a nice total?
There's one.
Okay. There's 766 goals, 1,155 assists. If I'm looking at the right thing.
How many points? How many points is that?
For how many points? We got 1,921 points in 1,733 games.
All
Career
right,
NHL
so
games.
he's done pretty well.
I
Then.
believe that puts him in second points wise. I want to say second or third.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah,
I think it's third.
he's
Wait, no, I think it's second.
he is definitely the GOAT in my mind. He's just so much more fun
Well,
than Gretzky.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I would agree with that, but another thing is like
Who's older?
the thing is with
That's
back
cool.
when
Gretzky
Gretzky's
played in an era where if you put a shot on from anywhere inside the blue line, there's a pretty solid chance it was going to go in.
yeah, like
Because goalies were just stand up all the time with pads that were like this wide, and they would just kick at it and hope
yeah,
it would get stuck.
his record's never gonna be touched because it's never gonna be that easy to score.
Yeah, he's even said things.
Pads
along
were
that
smaller.
line.
Like they didn't play as well.
There's
Players
something-
weren't as big.
There's something to be
Yeah,
said
so-
about Jagr's consistency through like many different sort of eras in the NHL. Like he went from the 90s into like the dead puck era in the early 2000s, where it was even harder to score than it is now. And then up until now, and he pretty consistently managed to get at least 40 or 50 points, even up till the later years. I mean, earlier in his career, he was obviously much better. But he's certainly a legend, and probably first ballot Hall of Famer as soon as he probably within the next year or two. He'll probably get in.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
If he retires.
If he's retired, you never really know with him. He's going to Europe for a year, but
This is
who
what I
knows?
wanted to do.
Somebody might
I
pick
wanted
him
to
up again
I
next.
wanted to get into the Hall of Fame, and then I wanted to come back.
That would be a record, right? The only player to be inducted into the Hall of Fame and
and
come
then
out of
go
retirement.
play again.
Yeah.
How old is he?
45.
Oof.
He says after there's a headline here. After returning home, Jagr says he's far from finished.
Oh God.
So he's going back to Kladno in the Czech Republic. It's actually a team that he owns. He's going to play. He's going to play for him. Getting back into playing
How high
shape.
his salary will be.
Well, it's funny.
Free.
It's weird. The Calgary Flames waived him, and then sent his contract to the team that he owns, but Calgary is still paying his contract. So he's getting paid by another team to play for his team
Interesting.
That he owns.
that he owns.
Interesting.
It's kind of crazy. He's still. Let me. I'm seeing. He's.
I don't understand the reason though behind it. I don't.
know.
Calgary could. I mean, they can use him. It's not like Johnny Hockey can do
I mean,
everything
he-
there.
Does it say why? Like, did he want to step
There was
back?
just kind of a thing that the management. When he didn't have he wasn't at a training camp with anybody, and then the entire time he was with Calgary, he was kind of a step too slow, and the Flames and him just kind of agreed to
Well,
part ways.
there was also in an article it said there's been a knee injury that's been nagging him for 2 months.
Yeah,
So
it's been that. Too.
it's like half he's going
Yeah.
to play at a lower level
Yeah.
for like rehab purposes,
Yeah.
I guess. Kind of get that step back. Maybe.
Come back.
Who knows?
I bet he's on
Come
his-
back at 50.
I bet he's coming back.
Oh, he'll come back. If I know anything, it's anytime Jagr goes to Europe to play for a couple years, he'll come back and become a steady point producer in the NHL for 5 more.
I want Datsuk.
Talking about players coming back,
I miss Datsuk.
isn't Kovalchuk? Isn't there grumblings about him coming back soon?
There was talks about that this summer, and then possibly now the Olympics are happening this time around, and he's going to be going, which is another thing you can bring up again. There might be a chance that this summer free agency that somebody might take him because this is when his contract with his KHL team runs out after this season.
I was gonna say, if he came back before, he would have had to go back to New Jersey.
Yeah, there was
they
some weird
signed him
rules.
to a monster deal before he.
Now I think he can sign with anybody. I want to say I'm not sure on that.
He wants to go back to New Jersey now.
Yeah, New Jersey's on the way up. They're stumbling a little bit right now because goalie and their early season stuff was a bit supported by some really high shooting percentages from a lot of their players. I think
Taylor Hall's out.
Will Butcher somebody had a really high.
Gibbons.
There was a few players that were shooting really hot, and but they're still on their way up. So, but Jagr gone for now, but I'm sure probably not the last one.
I hope we'll see him again.
It's just fun. He's one of the few like really fun players in the league.
Yeah.
That's like it just seems like he'd be fun to be around.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right, I got to bring this up. Brian asks me to do it every single time we do one of these. He wants me to bring up John Klingberg,
Having his year.
is having a stellar year. He's 6 goals, 43 assists.
Oof.
Wow.
His
That's
points are 49, and his plus minus is 14.
Wow. That's really
Who,
That's not bad.
me and Mike were talking, and Victor Hedman's points are 33 right now. Is that accurate?
Yeah, Hedman's not doing so well in the points. His plus minus is stellar.
Yeah.
His plus minus
23.
is like, I was gonna say his plus minus is like
He's a
23.
top pairing defenseman, so it's like
Speaking.
Is he paired with Strawman?
Yes.
Because Strawman's plus minus, I know, used to be really high too.
It's
So.
Hedman, Strawman, Dochin, Sergachev, or is it Sergman and somebody else?
But anyway,
Whatever.
Brian, there you go. I threw a little bit of John Klingberg in there for you.
Well, speaking of some hot defensemen, guess who was leading the Predators in points?
Subban.
A defenseman.
With 38 points. He's a team leader with 26 assists and 12 goals.
He's doing well.
He's having a pretty stellar year, and he's actually kind of his defensive game has gotten a lot better too. I've been watching a bit of his game tape.
The Predators are going to be
for a
scary.
Norris for him.
I think the Predators are going to do
scary.
good this year. I think they have a pretty good chance.
I think they're gonna do good.
Hey, I'm the same height as PK Subban.
Look at
6 foot.
I'm definitely not 210 pounds.
that.
Because Ryan Ellis actually just came back.
Back from a long injury.
Yeah, he didn't play any of the first half of the season.
No.
Would anybody like to talk about the All-Star game?
I mean, it was
fun.
okay. Skills competition's fun. It's always fun.
I like the new 3-on-3.
New hardest shot this year.
Yeah, we got Ovi. The
Finally,
hardest shot.
thank
Somebody other than Weber and Chara.
Yeah.
That was something new.
But, you know, if Weber wasn't hurt, he would have been there.
Probably,
Yeah,
yeah.
would've
And
won.
probably would have won it.
Yeah, but it's nice. It's cool. I was hoping PK could get that one, but good for Ovi.
Yep.
I was thinking the only way he was gonna be able to get it that hard is somebody fed him a one timer, but no, he got it. Other than that, there wasn't too much noteworthy stuff in this.
What happened there? Dowdy had an issue, had some issues.
Oh, well,
that was
that-
pretty funny.
In the
That, like,
passing one.
pass-
Dowdy
passing
and
relay
Cooch both
thing.
had some really bad issues in the passing.
they were having some problems. That was
The-
bad.
The
That
Lightning,
was painful
the
to
Lightning
watch.
guys did not show up to the skills competition. But
Except
Braden Point
except
almost
for Braden Point. Yeah,
did.
Braden
He got
Point
second
almost.
in the speed.
Yeah, he was so close. And I'm sitting here watching that, and I'm like, oh, I hope he can beat McDavid because that would be just like a slap in the face. And plus, all the announcers are treating McDavid like he's a god as we're watching it, and they're like, okay, watch Point win. I hope he does,
Yeah.
but he didn't.
The Lightning did show up to the game though, so that's
Yeah.
good. At least Kucherov did.
Hat-trick on a no move.
On a no move.
Had Holtby fishing.
He's so good.
That was incredible.
Talking about a bad team in Edmonton right now. We could could go on for days talking about how bad they
It's
are.
bad. It's bad.
Not good.
It's not good.
It
They
doesn't
were
even
good
make
last
sense.
year.
It doesn't even make sense.
It's called you handcuff yourself with a $7 million a year contract with Lucic. Actually, I'm gonna get up
10 to
their cap.
Draisaitl,
About 10 to
12
Draisaitl, yeah.
Their cap.
And Cam Talbot is their goalie, and I don't think he's been doing too hot.
No, I don't think so.
Clearly, they're in the basement of their
Not-
division.
Not the best. Not the
I think he's
best.
been doing well.
Let me get a team up.
Well, you know what
here.
that means then. Guess who's gonna get Dahlin? Has to be
Hopefully
Edmonton.
We were talking about
Edmonton cannot get another number one pick.
We just were talking about this the
No.
other day. We're like, well, what happens if Edmonton does it? Because
That's
they're
not
so
fair.
bad right now.
No.
Not fair.
All right. Well, if we look at the Oilers cap friendly, and we look at their player list, when you give Draisaitl, it's not quite as much as I said the other day. You give Draisaitl $8.5 million a year.
Still,
And
he's not that good. He's
Milan
not good.
Lucic $6 million a year, so that's a little less than what I thought.
All of the middle of the road players in the NHL are getting paid way too
And
much money.
Nugent Hopkins also $6 million a year. You know, that's a lot of money wrapped up in not that many people.
He was playing on the fourth line at the beginning of the season.
How much is McDavid?
And then McDavid, he's on his the last year of his entry level contract. So this was the last year they could really utilize that cheap $925K for McDavid. Next year he moves up to $12.5 million.
Oh, they already extended.
They did $12.5 million a year,
That would've been-
and that was part of their issue was they
Didn't
signed.
they do that 2 years ago?
Yeah, they did it last summer.
Oh, I was gonna say, it
But,
seems like it's been a
that's
while.
so
That's
bad.
a lot of money.
The thing was what they did was they extended McDavid before they did Draisaitl. And as soon as they gave McDavid that much, Draisaitl was able to go, oh, well, I produced this much, so I'm at least this much of McDavid. So that's how he got his 8.5.
That's screwing up everything in the NHL right now.
Oh, it is, yeah.
Because of what Draisaitl did. Everybody who can compare off of his numbers or
No, it's
do
'cause
the
they
kind
did
of the same
it's
thing
'cause
like
they
he
did
did.
McDavid first.
Oh, they signed Chris Russell of $4 million a year for four. Okay, yeah. They have a lot of issues.
How much do they have?
Talbot is wait, let me see. This doesn't work as well on a computer.
Talbot's
so I have
Cam.
is
Four points.
that's actually pretty decent.
4.17.
$4.17 million a year for this season and the next. That's not horrible.
That's a fair.
Fair for a goalie.
But they're not in the
you got to pay to
best-
get your goalies.
They're not in the best of spots.
They just need their people that they're giving all their money to freaking do something.
Yeah, that is true. But like
Especially-
McDavid can't like just win a game by himself. I mean, he
No.
can do his best, and he could probably win a few by himself, but he can't do everyone.
Yeah.
Although
I want to look at the Lightnings.
are not much.
What is
better.
that, cap friendly?
It's cap friendly, yeah, capfriendly.com. Nice thing about the Habs situation is they got Plekanec coming off the books after this year, so that's $6 million freed up.
As we're on Plekanec, we can talk about how we saw Plekanec in a bar in Montreal.
We can
Talk.
We'll do that after.
Okay.
We'll do that after. We'll bring that up.
Talk.
Did you know about
Jonathan
that?
Drouin at $5.5 million a year for how many more years? 6 more years. If he could start producing, that would be cool. That would be a good.
Yeah.
That would
It's
be a
been
good
rough.
contract.
He's had a rough
Jagr.
go of it.
Then we got Patch still at $4.5 million a year for one
Underpaid.
more season after that. That's a fantastic
He only gets-
contract.
That's
4.5.
He's
You only
underpaid.
has that
He's
much?
been.
He is like the
he's-
backbone of that team, and he is
Yeah,
very
he's
underpaid.
so-
Yes,
good.
he is. Although a lot of people are expecting, and I wouldn't even mind at this point, he's probably on his way out this season at the trade deadline or at the draft maybe.
Yeah.
Because
Send him
once
to Ottawa.
you can get a lot for a player like him, and once that contract does expire, it's going to be jumping up a lot more than what it is right now.
Yeah.
The nice thing is we still have 4 more years of Gallagher at $3.75 million a year, which is nuts.
He
Leading the team in
produces,
goals
too.
right
Yeah,
now.
he produces.
And if I had to guess, he's probably going to be the next captain. Once
The only thing I think about the price tags on those guys, I think it's we think they're probably underpaid, but you start paying them more, you're gonna run into issues like you have in Edmonton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it's probably fair.
Yeah.
For the numbers that they produce. Like Patch is not like he's not a points guy like
He's a perennial
David
30 goal
is.
scorer.
Yeah, but
All right, I
How's
don't know
Bundesliga?
if it's. Sorry.
Go.
I don't know if it's like other people are like. I don't know if other people are like selfish. Steven Stamkos is at 8.5.
He took a very, very sweetheart
He's
deal for
taking
the
low.
for
He
the.
took-
Yeah.
he went low.
signing. The thing-
Hedman.
well, he's
'Cause-
been in Tampa forever.
There
Hedman's
was-
at 7.8.
around that
Ooh.
around
Evan should be 5.
around the Stammer.
No.
If anything, Hedman should be at 8, and Stamkos should be
Hedman's
at like 11.
debatably. I mean, he's
I mean,
He's
if,
top 5 defenseman.
If Carl Alsner is almost
Yeah.
getting $5 million a year each.
Oh, okay. Well,
But I mean, if you
he's
look at
generous at top
like,
5 defenseman in the league.
Look
so.
at all these. Like the highest on the Lightning
Your
is
boy
8.5.
Letang's back.
They're all taking low
Need him
contracts.
Which is kind of
Really?
nuts
I
when
think
you look
don't
at
know how he
I
made
think
the
they wanna
All-Star
stay
team.
and win.
when you.
I don't
Which is
know.
cool.
I saw that and
which
I'm
is
like,
why
what the
they're
hell
here.
is
I think that's why,
Letang doing
yeah.
at the All-Star game?
I didn't
He's
think
been
the
out
team
for
would go
like
to All Stars.
Oh God, buyout history.
who do you think should have replaced him? Someone have to go.
Oh no.
I wanted Murray to go just so that way him and Fleury could
Where's
kind of
Kessel
compete
now?
against each other.
Oh, that'd be cool.
But
Where's Kessel playing these
he's
days?
still in Pittsburgh.
He's in Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
How
he's
did
still-
he
So
not?
let's not get off the rails too much. But yeah, if Carl Alsner is making 4.63 a year with the Habs, I think Hedman making as much as he does should be fair.
That's fair.
Although I'm still sad about that Alsner contract. That's not gonna help the Habs. And then, oh my!
You don't really have much that's gonna help
Shea
you guys
Weber
right
has
What if Hedman
9
took $5
years
million
left
if they
on
signed
his
Drew on
contract at 7.86.
What is he like? 40?
He's gonna be 41 once that contract is done.
Ouch!
Who's gonna be 40?
Boy.
Shea Weber.
Oh,
And he's
boy.
been out for a significant portion
signed
of
for
this
9
season
more
so far.
years.
And it's that high.
That's
too, isn't
that's the contract that they traded for.
it? That's a high one, isn't it too?
7.89
Traded away
million a
Subban,
year.
who is leading the Preds.
It's bad.
You want to dig up those old bag of emotions, Ben?
No, I don't.
$5 million.
And then now that Carey got
He makes more
extended
than Crosby.
this summer, he'll be making 10.5 million a year
I know,
starting
that's
next
weird.
season.
Carey's
Yeah, that
making
just
what?
proves, right?
10.5 million a year starting
Crosby
next
wants to win.
season.
How many years?
Yeah.
For
But Crosby's
8 more
out for
years
8
after
years.
this season.
Wow.
And he's already 30.
Isn't that funny?
So 38
He's
year
already
old
30.
38-year-old Carey, once that those years roll around, that contract is
Stranger things have
See,
happened.
but that's not bad.
He might
because
still
those
be
3
good.
players get
We
you
don't
so
know.
many
Yeah.
points.
True.
Um,
Brodeur
And
was
then
good
what,
up
after
until
that, what
And
is
then
it?
His last like 3
the last
seasons.
few years.
Yeah, 3, 4.
How old was he when he
Big
retired?
Like they're not.
He was old.
he was old, but
He was crusty.
yeah.
$5
So the Habs are not in a great spot.
Man,
I'll
yeah,
leave it
that's
at
rough.
that.
That's
I-
And
definitely
neither are the Sens. As me and Ben have talked a couple times. My brother lives next to a guy who knows Mike Condon very well.
Gets paid a lot of money.
Very well.
That's pretty cool.
He's brought his kids into the
And
locker
Murray, is he still in
room.
the?
That's awesome.
We were talking about how the Sens,
No, I think
according to
Yeah,
Ben,
no.
Okay.
possibly
Oh, that's fine
there's a
for him.
chance that
3.7.
their future might be going into Mike Condon's hands.
As a Habs fan who watched him take over the reins for Carey, good luck with that. He seems like a good guy, but I don't
does
know.
seem like a very good person.
I don't know. I don't know about using Condon as a starter. It's a choice.
Not a smart
Definitely
one.
it's
Not
a-
if they can't
definitely a
keep
choice.
Carlson. That's a bad idea. Very bad idea.
Trey bad.
Trey
Mucho.
bad.
Mucho. What's bad in Spanish?
I don't know.
Whatever.
You're gonna have to go on 33 minutes. You're gonna have to hit that camera again.
I hit it like 5 times already, man.
Oh. Okay. Well.
No, I got until like 36, and I'll have to do it again.
Okay. So now we gotta talk about what you were gonna say about
I brought it up.
That was actually Nick, yeah.
mechanic. So the other day,
His name's Turtleneck.
his name's Turtleneck. We went in as a group to a game in Montreal. Nick,
Yes, we did.
Mike, myself, Jordan, Hannah, and Aaron all went into a game against the Avalanche, which Habs won.
I called a McKinnon goal right at before we went,
You called.
and he scored.
You called 2 McKinnon
I
goals.
said at the most 2. He's gonna at least.
You did
score
not
one.
say at the most.
I
You
did.
said
I think you
2
just said
goals.
2.
I'm pretty sure.
I think you just said.
I think you just
Fairly
said 2.
certain. I said
Regardless-
he's scoring at least one.
Regardless,
But he scored.
You
All
called-
right.
And now he's hurt.
You-
So good luck, Colorado.
Anyway, we go to the game. It's a great time.
Oh, yeah.
Aaron and I get on the jumbotron. That made her very happy.
That
Made me
Made
very,
me
very, very mad.
annoyed because you moved away from
Yeah,
that
that
seat
sucks.
right before that period.
And you would have done something cool other than like point your
Uh,
phone at it and be weird.
Yeah.
Oh yeah!
Great game. It was a great game. Happened one
Go Colorado!
4-2, I believe, and it was fun.
Yeah.
But then we go to the new restaurant they've opened in the Bell Center. There's a door through into it from inside the Bell Center, and go down a few floors. We're waiting for our food and our drinks, and then see this guy walk in, and I'm like, "Ooh, that looks a whole lot like Arturi Lehkonen." And I'm like, I don't know. Then I see a guy that looks a lot like Jacob Delarose walking, and I'm like, oh, okay. And then I see
We all turn around and
I
we
see Thomas Plekanec
Yeah.
walk in, and I'm like, oh, okay. And I start just like freaking out inside. And so
Yeah, they were all like right there.
yeah,
Like,
they were
right
all
around
like
us.
within
I
like 30
think
feet of us.
we were definitely not in the right seating for.
Mm.
I was.
It looks like we're in a VIP section of this place. Just it's like
Oh,
they
yeah,
have
that's true.
a section over beside
Where it's
us
like
where
most of the-
everybody is.
There was a
Most of
bunch
We're
of
sitting
watch-
over
yeah,
in a
yeah.
group on like these nice soft like
Secluded
cute-
little
Yeah,
leather,
like a little
yeah.
circles.
And then
Yeah.
and
We
then
see
over
those
near
guys.
us are our NHL players with their like dress shirts on and clearly what was their agents
Yeah.
sitting there talking about stuff.
as
Yeah.
they could hear
It's
us
like-
talking about
Yeah.
them because we were not very quiet.
No, we weren't. But then as we left, I didn't want to be the guy to bother them while they were doing their thing, eating and whatever, to ask for a picture. But I said hi to all of them. I said good game, and then they all said thanks. And it was just kind of a cool experience.
It was an
Nice way to
experience.
cap the
It
night
was cool.
off
It was definitely cool.
before we went out to a bar, different bar.
Mad
And,
Hatter.
oh, we had a
Had some
lot
cool-
to drink that night. I had a lot to drink.
Good
that
night.
It was
Good
a
night.
fun night.
got some nice hot dogs on the way back.
Oh my god.
Always the high point of a trip to
Oh,
Montreal.
yeah.
Gregoire's.
Hot dogs on the way back.
Gregoire's in Mercier, Quebec. You ever around
Good
Mercier?
fries, good wieners.
Good poutine, some good slaw dogs. It's a great restaurant to stop at. It's pretty cheap too.
Yeah.
So, if you guys want to sponsor us, Gregoire's, hit us up.
Good. Hit us up.
I would just be so down to be sponsored.
Just
by
like get like a
Gregoire's.
big like Gregoire sign and like just tape it up on the.
Put it on a tripod.
There's the
Sponsored by. We're just eating hot dogs and fries while we podcast.
Decked out
jeez.
in like Gregoire's gear. Like
I
you
love that.
had.
I have my Gregoire's hat.
wait, would it be like before our podcast starts? Good fries, good wieners.
Yes.
Yeah, it would have to.
Yes.
Michael, record the jingle.
Good fries and good wieners.
We have to have this right there.
So, I wanted to talk about the Olympics.
I can sing it at the end.
Oh,
Too. I can sing it
forgot
at the
about
end
the
too.
Olympics too.
So
Yeah.
those are going to be starting, I think, in 5 days is when the opening ceremony is. I believe it's on February 8th, I want to say. I'm not sure on the date there.
Something like
You
that.
Somebody
guys are
can look it
always
up,
invited to come.
Something like that.
So we're going to get a cable box for the TV that's behind this camera, and we're gonna be have an Olympic TV, but
It's gonna be going all day
we're
long.
just gonna leave it going all day.
Calm down.
We're just gonna leave it going all day on Olympic coverage.
We
and
probably will.
whatever's on, we'll watch. Of course, we'll probably get together and watch some of the big hockey games. Maybe even do some live reactions. Maybe even do some live reactions with a camera set up. Maybe the U.S. Canada one.
Russia.
Hopefully the
Russia.
timing won't
Mother
be,
Russia.
hopefully the timing won't be too weird with it being in Korea. But
That
it should
should,
be
that's
fun.
that's gonna be just interesting on its own.
The
It's
Russian
not north
Korea.
though. It's not north.
I know.
But
Yeah,
With that many people from different countries.
the Russian not Russian team looks like it's gonna be a
The
bit
dominant
of a
force.
powerhouse. When they come out with their roster released and you just see Kovalchuk and Datsuk in the forwards, you don't really have to look past that.
That's
And the rest of it is just loaded up with KHL players. It'll be interesting. It'll be the first time in a long time that the Olympics is actually a pretty wide open pool. in the
Usually
hockey,
it's like
hockey field.
Canada, U.S., Russia.
Sweden.
Sweden,
Women's
Finland.
hockey will still be like that, probably.
Yeah.
What's the reason? I haven't really paid attention to it. What's the reasoning for getting NHL guys out?
The Olympics, the IOC, International Olympic Committee, didn't want to pay for like travel and insurance that they had always been doing for the NHL for a while. And the NHL was like, well, we don't want to pay for it either. And yeah, that's the short.
That's
version.
it.
That's the short version.
Not really.
That's the short. That's
We
the
don't
short
want to pay
version.
for it either.
But like,
There was like a lot of meetings and stuff about it, but like that's the gist of it.
hey, I really hate you right now because you just in your pants.
Ben. All right, go to commercial. Friggin' A.
All right, and we're all back. We just went to one of our college's men's hockey games. Okay, we'll get that out of there. And they won the game. Nice time. Went with some friends.
Yes.
We are now short an Eric and a Natasha, but we just thought we'd come back and do a short little outro because we kind of left abruptly
Because we left on an awkward note when Ben crapped his pants.
yeah, it did
on a
smell pretty
stinky
bad.
note.
It smelled pretty bad.
Stinky.
Sorry, Five Guys does not agree with me. Anyway, we're gonna just kind of say bye now, and we're gonna after this is gonna be a short little video compilation of us playing some pond hockey earlier.
No, it's not. I just told you.
Oh, I thought you were saying you were gonna do that.
No, he's gonna
No, I
shoehorn
said
it
I'm
into
gonna-
the middle.
No.
I thought you were gonna put it
Jesus,
between.
boys,
You're
no.
putting it between them. I thought.
All right.
Well, with this clusterfuck, we are now gone. Goodbye, everybody. See you next time.